Egg-bound or egg yolk peritonitis? Let's talk about it. We are here once again with my girl Boots. Unfortunately, she's just the unlucky one of the flock. About 1 week ago, when I went to go feed all my chickens, she didn't move. And if you have chickens, you know that when they don't run for food, something's wrong. They're either sick or injured if their appetite is lessened. Side note, that's another reason why I advocate for not free feeding your birds, so that way you can monitor their behavior a little bit better. After inspecting Boots, I noticed that her belly was swollen and throbbing. Because I've never dealt with a situation like this, the first thing I think is that she must be egg bound. So the first thing that I tried to do was soak her in an Epsom bath outside in a little tub. Keeping her there was not very easy, and I learned a better way to do an Epsom soak, which I'll show you in a second. My next step was to put her in a dark, isolated area so that way she could pass the egg. After a full 24 hours, nothing happened, and I knew that an egg-bound chicken has at the most 48 hours to live, so I was not feeling very optimistic. Day 2, fortunately we made it to day 2, but unfortunately nothing has happened yet. She's still egg-bound. Her belly looks huge, and you know, it doesn't look very good. So our next step is to just put her in total isolation in the shed here. My next step was to do another Epsom soak. My wife and I took her inside and soaked her in a tub where we cut out a little hole so that way we could keep her locked in for 20 minutes. After that, we dried her off and then put her underneath the washer and dryer where she just looked horrible. You can see how her belly is swollen and red, and she just doesn't look good. She's breathing a lot, she's pushing, but nothing's coming out. We kept her under there for another 24 hours and nothing happened, but I did notice that she pooped. So because she pooped and an egg-bound chicken does not poop, I was thinking it might be something else, and that's when we came to the conclusion that Boots had egg yolk peritonitis, which I had never heard of before. Without using a vet, your options seem to be pretty limited, so here's what we did to help her get better. We gave her another Epsom soak, and while we were doing that, considering this was on our 3rd day at this point, she needed to eat and drink water, which she hadn't done up to this point. If the chicken is not eating or drinking, she's not gonna have the strength that she needs to recover from this sickness. So the strategy I always use when a chicken does not have an appetite is I feed them bread. The bread does not have a lot of nutrition in it, but there's a trick. You soak the bread in water. So now not only are they getting some calories, they're also getting some hydration. This worked wonders. And to be totally honest with you, we started to see subtle improvements after this step. We let her roam around the yard for a little bit, and I watched her eat a blade of grass, which may not sound like a big deal, but it felt like a huge victory in the moment. Even better, once I put her back in her quarantine coop, I noticed that she was drinking water on her own without us provoking or encouraging it. We tried feeding her everything, and the only thing that she would eat was bread, and we were honestly okay with that. What I learned from this was that cure is not always in medicine, but in the care. Seriously, write that down. The cure is in the care. Because today when I threw food out for Boots, she ran up to go eat it. And I can tell for 100% that she's feeling a lot better. We're not out of the woods yet because her belly is still swollen, but it is a ton of progress. Unfortunately, Boots just seems to have bad luck. I've never had a chicken get sauerkraut, but she got sauerkraut. I've never had a chicken have yolk peritonitis, she got yolk peritonitis. However, you could also reframe that and say she's the luckiest chicken because she recovered from both of these things. What do you guys think? Have you ever had a chicken with yolk peritonitis? Let me know what I should have done in the comments. But more than anything, the message you should take home is that the cure is in the care. And because my wife had hope for her, which I did not, I think that's why she survived. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you in the next video.